Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about different techniques in pharmaceutical analysis or analytical chemistry. So it is mainly categorized into two parts. First one is instrumental method and the second one is non-instrumental methods. So coming to the first one, which is instrumental method. So this instrumental method is again categorized into 6 categories and the first one is volumetric method. These volumetric methods are again categorized into 4 types, which are so this volumetric methods is categorized into 4 types. First one is acid base titration, second one is redox titration, third one is complexometric titration, and the fourth one is precipitation titration. So what is volumetric method? As its name suggests, volumetric means volume is involved. So this volumetric method is quantitative analysis, and the first one is acid base, means there will be acid and there will be base, means neutralization reaction takes place, and again it is categorized into 2 types. First one is non-aqueous and the second one is aqueous. In aqueous acid base titration, water will be used as a solvent, but in non-aqueous acid base titration, water cannot be used as a solvent. Generally non-aqueous titration is used for determination of very weak acids or very weak base. I have already uploaded the videos of non-aqueous titration. You can watch my playlist, so you will get many methods which are already uploaded. Now coming to the next one, which is redox titration. So in redox titration, mechanism of redox reaction takes place, means there will be reduction and there will be oxidation in the same reaction, and volume of titrant and titrant will be measured. Now coming to the next one, which is complexometric titration. So in complexometric titration, complex formation takes place and volume of titrant and titrant will be measured, and ultimately we will know the concentration of the analyte. I have already uploaded the video of complexometric titration also. Next one is precipitation titration. In precipitation titration, 2 solutions will be mixed, and after mixing both the solutions we will get the precipitate, and in which point we are getting the precipitate, that point will be measured or volume will be measured, and ultimately we can determine the concentration of the analyte. So this volumetric is mainly for quantitative analysis. Now coming to the second type of instrumental methods, that is spectral analysis. This spectral analysis is mainly categorized into 6 types. So these are the different types of spectral analysis. So first one is colorimetry. Colorimetry will cover the visible range, that is 400 to 800 nanometer. So colorimetry will measure the absorbance of a particular compound. Next one is UV visible spectroscopy. It is advanced version of colorimetry because it will cover the entire range of UV as well as visible. So wavelength will be 200 to 800 nanometer in the case of UV visible spectroscopy, and by using UV we can determine the lambda max as well as concentration of the analyte. Next one is infrared spectroscopy. So infrared spectroscopy is mainly used for determination of functional groups. Now coming to the next one, which is NMR spectroscopy, that is nuclear magnetic resonance. So NMR spectroscopy is mainly used for determination of structure of the compound, and mainly we are determining hydrogen as well as carbon. If we are determining hydrogen, then it is known as 1H NMR. If we are determining carbon, then it is known as C13 NMR. Now coming to the next one, that is mass spectroscopy. So by using mass spectroscopy we can determine the mass of the particular compound or analyte. Next one is spectrophlorimetry. So by using spectrophlorimetry, we can determine the fluorescence of that particular compound. If our compound is fluorescent active, then we can determine the concentration of that particular compound. So these are the main spectral analytical techniques, and I have already discussed about UV visible spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy in my previous videos. So you can watch those videos, are available in my playlist. Now coming to the next instrumental method, that is chromatographic methods. So chromatographic techniques are mainly categorized into two types. First one is planar chromatography and the second one is column chromatography. Again, this planar chromatography is categorized into three types. First one is paper chromatography, second one is thin layer chromatography, that is TLC, and the third one is HPTLC, that is high performance thin layer chromatography. Now coming to the next one, which is column chromatography. So this is categorized into various types, which are So these are the different types of chromatographic techniques. So first one is planar chromatography, means it will be carried out in a plane or plane surface. So first one is paper chromatography. It will be carried out in a paper, and the paper is made up of alpha cellulose, and it is generally used for separation of amino acids. Second one is TLC, that is thin layer chromatography. It is carried out in TLC plate. And the third one is HPTLC. It is advanced version of TLC, and the full name of HPTLC is high performance thin layer chromatography, means resolution will be better as compared to TLC. Now coming to the second one, which is column chromatography. So what is column? Column is a hollow tube, and in that hollow tube we will perform the chromatographic technique, and we will separate the compounds from a mixer. So first one is gravity column. This is the normal column, and flow will be carried out through the gravitational force. Second one is gas chromatography. In gas chromatography, column will be there and a mobile phase will be gas. Third one is flash chromatography. Flash chromatography is advanced version of column chromatography. In flash chromatography, we will use the plastic column, and we will put some pressure, and that pressure is around 10 to 15 psi, and the pressure will be applied through the nitrogen or air. Next one is HPLC. Full name of HPLC is high performance liquid chromatography. It is commonly used method under chromatographic techniques, and by using suitable detector we can determine the concentration of the analyte in various mixtures. Next one is size exclusion chromatography. In the size exclusion chromatography, separation takes place due to the difference in the molecular weight or size of the particles. Next one is ion exchange chromatography. If we are having any ionic compounds, so that ionic compounds will be separated by using ion exchange chromatography. And the next one is affinity chromatography. Affinity chromatography is highly specific. For example, antigen antibody, like this we can separate antigen or we can separate antibody by using affinity chromatography. Next one is UPLC, that is ultra performance liquid chromatography. It is advanced version of HPLC because particle size of stationary phase will be smaller and pressure will be higher as compared to HPLC. Next one is DCCC, that is droplet counter current chromatography. In this technique we will use two liquids, one will be stationary phase and one will be mobile phase. One high density liquid will be taken and one low density liquid will be taken in DCCC. Now coming to the next method under instrumental method, that is electrochemical method. Under electrochemical method, mainly four methods are described, which are conductometry, coulometry, voltammetry and potentiometry. So these are the four major electrochemical methods. So first one is conductometry. So under conductometry we will measure the conductance in the presence of analyte. Next one is coulometry. In coulometry we will measure the electricity which will be consumed or produced during the reaction. Next one is voltammetry. So in voltammetry measurement of current takes place in the presence of analyte. Next one is potentiometry. So in potentiometry we will measure the electrical potential. Now coming to the next technique under instrumental method, that is hyphenated techniques. So under hyphenated techniques we will combine two techniques or two analytical techniques and we will get the better result, and there are many hyphenated techniques are available which are like this. So these are various hyphenated technique. First one is GCMS, means gas chromatography attached with mass spectroscopy. Second one is LCMS, that is liquid chromatography, or HPLC attached with mass spectroscopy. Next one is LCNMR, means liquid chromatography is attached with NMR spectroscopy. Next one is GCNMR, means gas chromatography attached with NMR, that is nuclear magnetic resonance. Next one is LCMS, means liquid chromatography, or HPLC is attached with MS means mass spectrometer, two mass spectrometer. Next one is ICP-OES, means inductively coupled plasma optical emission spectroscopy. It is used for determination of elements. Next one is ICP-AAS, means inductively coupled plasma attached with atomic absorption spectroscopy. And the last one is ICP-MS, means inductively coupled plasma attached with mass spectrometer. Now coming to the next techniques under instrumental method, that is other methods or remaining methods. So these are the other methods which can be used in analytical chemistry for determination of various analytes. So first one is DSC, that is differential scanning colorimetry. So by using DSC we can compare the standard as well as sample by increasing the temperature, and we will get the result. Next one is TGA, that is thermogravimetric analysis. In TGA we will increase the temperature gradually and we will know the decomposition pattern of the particular compound. Next one is Zeldal method. So by using Zeldal method we can determine the nitrogen content in the organic compounds. Next one is RIA, that is radioimmunoassay. So by using this technique we can determine the antigens present in the serum of the patient. Next one is ELISA, that is enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Antigen present in the serum or blood of the patient. Next one is autoradiography. So by using this technique we can use radioactive compound, and by using that radioactive compound we can locate any compound in the body. Next one is flame photometry. So by using flame photometry we can determine many elements. Next one is elemental analysis. So under elemental analysis we can determine the many elements like C, H, N, O, S, etc. Next, coming to the non-instrumental method. So non-instrumental method is categorized into two parts. First one is biological method and second one is chemical methods. So again these biological methods are categorized into three categories. First one is in vitro methods, second one is animal studies, and the third one is microbiological assays. So by using first one, that is in vitro methods, we can perform many in vitro tests in the laboratory. Second one is animal studies. So by using animals we can perform various pharmacological tests. Next one is microbiological assays. So we will use microbes and we can do the microbiological assays for many antibiotics. Next one is chemical methods. So under chemical methods we can do many chemical tests, like chemical tests for phenols, chemical tests for glycosides, chemical tests for alkaloids, etc. So these are the details about various analytical techniques under pharmaceutical analysis. Thank you.